Hey guys, Louie here, and welcome to the weekend. I'm glad we made it. All right, in this video, I've got a lot to talk about. What we're going to cover is we're going to cover why we're trading fiat for silver. I want to talk a little bit and put the link to my interview on bull, boom, bear, bust. That was a lot of fun last week, and you guys should take a look if you want to know my thoughts on things. We're going to have an unboxing of this beautiful Liberators proof, reverse proof, 2020 silver set. Talk about spot price, the SLR, and an update on how the auction is going for the bag-ins and the sal rounds. Okay, if you like the sound of that, stick around and let's go talk about it. See you in a second. What good is this stuff, this fiat money here, these $20 bills, if they are going to lose 2 to 8% of their value every year? Why do we fixate on these here, fiat currency, right? And I've made this video a dozen times before, and you can go back and check them in 2014, 2015, 2017, 2019. But it's the same story. Trade this for this, okay? Any kind of this. Any kind of this, even a copper bar if you like copper, or trade them for classic guitars if you want. But get out of this to the extent that you can. It's losing value at an unprecedented rate, and we know inflation is running hot. It is about to run hotter, as all the Federal Reserve presidents have been whining. And we also know that the real rate of inflation can be double or triple the stated rate. So this, well, what you got right here, next year, knock a couple of those off. And the year after that, knock a couple more. How much do you think this will buy in 10 years? Do you think it will even buy an ounce of silver? I don't know, but you know, the logic that I employ is that you want to get out of a failing asset and into a stable asset. We may disagree what a stable asset is. You may think a Liberators proof set is a crazy investment. You may be more in favor of just, you know, junk silver. Those are Merc dimes. You may be willing to pay a couple dollars more than you normally would for a beautiful bar. Or you may just want to go with the cheapest bullion you can find. That's a nadir bar, 10 ounce. Hard to find 10 ounce bars these days. These come authenticated. That may be the way to go as well. You decide. Box of American Silver Eagles, but this is not the future. Yes, I don't think, you know, I think you're going to have some money in the stock market. You ought to manage that carefully, because I do think the stock market will inflate along with all other assets. But I also think that you got to get into tangible assets. And that is why when the price of this stuff goes down in this, we should be celebrating. All right, I would really like to persuade you to not focus so much on the price. And, you know, I know that's easy to say when spot has dropped back from $30 down to $25. What did I do? I placed more orders. What else did I do? I bought call options on the SLV. You can't get options on the PSLV, unfortunately. But I increased my paper holdings, and I've increased my physical holdings. So I would encourage you to not worry so much about the price. If you're getting an opportunity to back up the bus, and you can see that spot is dropping and perhaps premiums are dropping, and you can get those Silver Eagles, you know, you wanted for in the low 30s, no time like the present. It's not going to last forever. All right, let's get on to the interview I did with Bull, Boom, Bear, Bust. That was a lot of fun. We spent about a half an hour on Zoom together, and I did my best to do a little show and tell and try to orient that more towards the general audience. You know, he covers a lot of economic information, and he has widened his perspective to many things that are about the economy But we had a lot of fun. I hope we do it again, and hope we can get more deeper into advice for new people getting into stacking. Again, making the right choice, you know, for you, whatever it is that you think the right thing is to redeploy your assets and get them stored away for the future. All right, so I'll put the link to that interview there. My record button, I didn't press it, unfortunately, so so I don't have that on my channel, but do get over to Jason's channel. Take a look, subscribe to him. He's got all the headlines that matter, and he's not missing anything over there, so I do encourage you to check out Bull Boom Bear Bust. All right, the libs. Well, I've been threatening to unbox these for months now. This is the highly coveted 250 vintage Liberators proof, reverse proof set, number 80 of 250. And this one is beautiful. Here they are. This is a product of AppMex, which diminishes its value in my mind. I don't want anything private labeled from AppMex, but it's the only one of its kind. And there is the proof, 1 ounce 2020 Liberators. And here is the elusive reverse proof 2020 Liberators. Both looking really sharp in their holder. This solid wood holder. Nice low COA, looking beautiful. And I'm happy to have that. I think I bought that at around $400, which I wouldn't typically do, but they're so hot. I think they will continue to do well in the aftermarket. Stated mintage for proof Liberators is pretty consistent with last year. And I won't go through those, but the reverse proof, which is what this is, you know, really all about, you know, they're making about 1,000 of them. I think the speculation, as I've said before, with some of the other hard to find proof coins is that maybe it's less. Maybe the stated mintage is 1,000 on the reverse proof Liberators, and maybe that's incorrect. Maybe they hoped to produce 1,000 of these. Well, isn't that beautiful? You know, I think some people continue to think that the stated mintages may be high and that they may roll through here with, in the end, far less of these really unique coins in the future. So I've made that prediction about the 5 ounce proof, which they're never for sale. Same thing with the reverse proof. If they made 1,000 of them, why can't you ever find them anywhere except on eBay at inflated prices? And even with that, Mexican Coin Broker probably only sold 20, you know, and there are only a couple dozen of these sets that really have sold, maybe a little more than that, you know, some in the $1,000 range. So I don't know exactly what to tell you about the proof Liberators. It is a gambler's game, right? If you like to gamble, then go ahead and check that out. If not, stick with the Bullion. All right, those are doing well. And that's it for the proof reverse proof set. Hope you enjoyed seeing that. Still don't have my gold. AppMex told me I could wait till April to get my reverse proof golds that I purchased there. And EMK Germany purchased some on eBay. They could care less about shipping theirs either, so I don't know if there's going to be some people reneging or what, but still hard to get anything Liberators related. All right, and here is something else I picked up. I think I told you I was buying these. I only got a couple, but this is the SD Bullion. Oh boy, that's going to be really reflective. This is the SD Bullion release of the Awakening. It is a 5 ounce round, harkens back to kind of a Chris Duane theme. This is the first of 8, I think I have been told. And the Awakening goes back to, you know, 1776 when we were promised sound money. The founders knew that there must be backing to the currency or it would be worthless. And of course, you know, God favors those that act prudently. Well, we have done no such thing, and now I wish I could show you the image here. I'm going to pop it up from the screen. SD Bullion. Well, actually, these came from Bold, but you know, I guess this is how they're shipped from the mint. They're shrink wrapped onto a backing board. I'm inclined to leave them that way. It just shows a more pristine state. These are investment rounds for me. They were purchased at about $35 an ounce, and you can see them selling for substantially more with only a 2000 mintage and first in the set. They really need to be antiqued. Man, I don't know. They missed an opportunity to antique these, because I'd love to see that eyeball antiqued up. Man, that'd be cool. And I'd like to show you the snake in person, but unfortunately, I'm not going to pull them out of here. But that's the kind of thing I look for, and I was surprised to find those at a good price over on Bold after the initial SD Bullion release sold out. All right, let's see. While we take a look at these MK Bars rounds here, this highly sought after Baggins prototype. You know, I had mentioned that we were in trouble in the stock market as a result of the SLR. I think that's the supplemental leverage ratio. And sure enough, the market has been virtually uninvestable since my last video. It's been down, it's been up, but about a 10% drawdown in the NASDAQ and small caps. And I still think that the big banks are waiting for the Federal Reserve to tell them that they can leverage themselves to the hilt again. But the Federal Reserve has not done that. The Fed, under pressure from the progressive wing, you know, said, no, we're going to let the exemption expire and reinstate the leverage ratios, the more prudent leverage ratios that we abandoned about a year ago, I think it was. I could be wrong about that. I think it was about a year ago. So, where's the P on here? Anyway, I can't find it. Maybe it's on the other side. But anyway, you know, the market still is in the dumps, especially on the high-flying side. Again, I would say that if you got your money out, if they reinstate the SLR or something similar, then I think you could reinvest back in the market, and I think we'll head straight back up on those. Did I tell you this was my idea? This little skull for the YouTube rounds, for the community rounds. Yeah, that was my idea. Put that little skull in a TV, because it's a YouTube, right? We're all YouTubers. We're tubers. Salivate, he's doing well also. Yeah, let's go take a look at that auction, see what those are bringing. It's about to finalize here. So that's what I have for you this weekend. I will definitely tell you to keep the faith, keep buying that silver, especially if it gets cheaper. If you can find the deals, right? I mean, you're finding generic well under 30 now. You'll see that the junk starting to come down, as it always does. When things cool off a little bit, junk gets a lot cheaper. So look for deals on junk. Look for those 10-ounce bar deals or anything that looks interesting. One more thing in regard to the U.S. Mint. So there have been a couple of really significant stories, you know, debating whether or not the U.S. Mint is going to go into short supply here for the Type 1 American Eagle. Well, you know, it has a lot to do with a loss in faith, right? If you turn to the government and you ask a government bureaucrat, tell me if you're going to do your job. Tell me if you're going to do what's required by law. Reassure me that you are going to respect the American citizen, right? Well, of course they're going to say yes. I'm going to keep this plant in full production. I promise you, we will not stop producing American Silver Eagles or American Gold Eagles Type 1. You have my bureaucratic word on that. Well, what does that mean? Pretend that's a silver eagle. Okay, it's March, you know, whatever. It's April 15th, right? There's one. I kept producing, didn't I? Didn't what I say was true? Wasn't what I said true? Did I keep producing them? And I know the law requires that I mint to demand, but in whose opinion is demand? It's in the opinion of the mint director. It's all subjective. Just like when they say to you that they are not, you know, they are not providing preferential deals to the big bullion retailers on highly sought after, you know, numismatic releases, like what's in that little box right there. No, we don't do that. We don't ever do that. Oh, and then the next story comes out and says, well, if you're part of the group purchasing monopoly, then we do that, right? So with a bureaucrat, all they have to do is answer a different question than you asked. That I there, it's not working for you, it's working against you. So do I think that they will continue to have production issues at the U.S. Mint? Hell yes. Did you see the story about them not being able to source all the silver planchets they want? And you know why they can't? Because they can't buy them at spot, or they can't buy them at the typical price over spot. And there's another part of the purchasing commitments that say they can't pay more than the going rate. And who sets the going rate? Who determines that? Well, again, the mint director. So they're not going to run out there and pay $30 an ounce for planchets, although that's what they might need to do to get silver. No, they're going to stop producing and say that one part of the law requires them to mint to demand in their opinion, and the other part of the law says, but they can't pay too much for those silver planchets. Therefore, they were gridlocked, and they'll, you know, let's have a hearing on the Hill, and in about 10 years, we'll let you know what happened. In the meantime, they shut it down. They produce their one silver eagle to prove that they're not a liar, and they can collect their giant pension when they retire from the government. Same thing happening over at Perth Mint. They're saying that you know, there's no shock in demand in their system. You can get all the allocated silver, all the 1,000-ounce bars you want. Oh, unless you're in Australia, then you can't get it if you're in Australia. If you're in America, it might take 2, 3, 4 weeks to get it. You certainly can't get it right away. So there's a repositioning of all the markets to satisfy the U.S. demand. That's happening with other mints around the world. We're sucking all the silver into the U.S. right now to the extent we can, because that's where the majority of the demand is. But liars abound. And all you need to know is grab you some shiny stuff, pay a reasonable price for it, but don't worry too much. Don't worry so much that you don't buy. Don't talk yourself out of holding these and not getting any of this. And that goes for gold as well and other diversified investments. I also bought some platinum last week. So anyway, that's all I'll say on it. Hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. And let's check out that auction, and I'll see you next time. Bye.